here with Sudhi and Suchi.
It is that time of the week or the day or the night or the evening where you have tuned in to the show which brings you everything about Bollywood. It is here. It here.
Thank God you're not a clock. For God's sakes.
Why is that?
Very confusing.
We didn't even tell them who this show is with. This is Here It Here with
Sudhi
and Suchi.
Absolutely.
Welcome to the show.
Suchi, by the way, I must tell you, you're looking lovely. This looks really nice.
Thank you very much for people who can't see what I'm wearing.
Is this, I'll describe it. It's this nice little big polka dotted situation which is a blue and a white thing and it really brings out the glow.
Oh, glow. Speaking of glow, somebody who's really glowing these days is Yami Gautam. Yami Gautam, who is now recently seen in
Thursday.
In a Thursday, yes, excellent job. But now Dasvi, she's in that one as well, right?
Yeah.
In Dasvi, of course, everyone's talking about Abhishek Bachchan and Nimrat Kaur, etc. But
I think she did a very fine job.
Yeah, she did a very fine job in this. But what the news is that she got a little bit peeved off recently with
somebody trolling her.
Yeah, it's not really a troll. It's like
a negative review of something.
Yeah, a negative review which stated that Yami Gautam is just used to playing like dead girlfriends in films. I mean, hello, yaar. How mean that is that? Really? I mean, definitely not. Yeah. Because I mean, if you've seen her work in Yuri or
a Thursday,
it's totally contrary to that.
Kabil also, yeah. Nobody seems to talk ever about that.
That's right.
She's done a fabulous job.
So Yami, don't worry about these naysayers, man. You know what you're doing, and we know what you're doing. So that's what should matter.
Ajay Devgan is all set to reprise his franchise with Son of Sardar, the comedy film which has him playing a Sardar and it's a happy-go-lucky Sardar family.
Guess what? This one will be called Son of Sardar 2.
How original, man.
Yeah, I think it's going to be called that. But nevertheless, this is of course Ajay tackling comedy, isn't it?
Yes, and I think he's very fine at it because I really liked him in the Golmaal series. I think he did a really good job.
Yeah.
And Son of Sardar was of course one of those very happy family films, which is an out-and-out entertainer and a comedy. Mm-hmm. So he's apparently planning to reprise that entire.
Yeah, it got kind of delayed, didn't it? Because of COVID, no?
Yeah.
Because of COVID. I mean, so many things got delayed. But Ajay, we are looking forward to seeing you in your comedy avatar very soon.
As you always like to say. Exactly.
Why am I saying that?
It is the triple R situation. For everyone who's listening, everyone must be clapping by now.
But is what we're going to talk about.
Yes.
RRR. Which, my God, I mean, these numbers are absolutely crazy, Sudhi. Mind-boggling, no? Crossing 2,000 crores. Yeah.
The only film that has apparently done that, Suchi, and
globally, Globally,
is a part of that group. It has still not gotten to that mark because Dangal has been the only one that has crossed 2,000 crores.
Correct. So this one has crossed 1,000 crores. It's crossed 1,000 crores globally and 800 crores domestically. Yeah, and the only other two, of course, as you said, were
Dangal and Bahubali, the conclusion.
My God, what are these numbers? I mean, whose bank account shows these numbers? I want to see that whole thing. No account in the passbook.
Mine.
2,000 crores.
मगर उसके आगे कोई फिगर नहीं होता.
हमारे
एक भी नहीं होता, दो भी नहीं होता.
हमारी लाइफ में ऐसा होगा भी या नहीं?
देखो सुची. That was fun.
A bit of news about an old friend of mine. We started out modeling together. I'm talking about Pooja Bhatt.
It's but obvious.
Yes, we started out modeling together. We'll never forget, there was this ad that we did of us. It was a sari ad or whatever, and we had like one parrot and we had one dove and all of this, and we had to stand there wearing these saris with this parrot and dove.
Parrot and doves also wearing saris?
No, they were not wearing saris, but it was the most ridiculous shoot. We always laugh about that when we meet. But Pooja Bhatt, it's nice to know that she's back in the news.
Absolutely.
And back on screen. I mean, of course, she came back with the web series Bombay Begums. And we also heard her voice in Sarak too, right?
Correct.
But what we've heard now is that the director Sudhanshu Sarya has taken her in his directorial Sana
film. Yes.
Yeah, and in Sana.
And she's also, I guess, Suchi, working alongside Sunny Deol in Balki's film.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Which has Dilker Salman, and you were telling me about somebody.
Shreya Dhanmantri.
Correct.
Yeah. So Pooja, we're very happy to see you, back on screen.
Yes.
I mean, she's one full power actress. Yeah, really,
brilliant.
Really, yeah, full power.
Yeah.
Good to see you back. Welcome back to this world of Bollywood.
So Suchi, it was quite fun, right?
तुम कितने कौन से क्लास में पास हो गए?
लग रहा है कि मैं स्कूल से छूट के आऊंगी. अच्छा
10वीं पास हुआ क्या?
हाँ मुझे लग रहा था तुम वहीं कहीं जाओगी.
10वीं पास हुआ ना?
हाँ.
10वीं पास हुआ मैं भी.
Congratulations.
हाँ,
Suchi.
congratulations.
And you didn't have to slide it in now कि मैं एक electrical engineer हूँ. तुमने
Electronics,
बोला?
get it
Sorry,
right.
Electronics. Sorry.
Electronics engineer भी हूँ.
हाँ बोलना तो होता ही
Speaking
होता है.
of, yeah, electronics engineer भी हूँ. But so naturally I had to pass 10वीं class.
Well done.
Okay. Another person who has
I've done it twice. Okay, so I'm better than you.
Another person who has passed 10वीं with flying colors is none other than Nimrat Kaur. Now what a transformation.
Truly.
What a transformation. But Nimrat is right back to what she used to look like. Don't believe us? You can see or hear what she's talking about as far as 10वीं is concerned, because that's who we're about to meet right now.
Here with Sudhi and Suchi.
And as we said, ladies and gentlemen, we are right now with somebody who is just absolutely adorable. I know her off screen as well. We have met on several times at restaurants where she's been eating and I've been eating also. So she's definitely one person who likes food, and that's why I love her.
Does she always carry a lunchbox? Is my question.
Oh no! You didn't just say
know.
that.
I don't know.
I'm so sorry.
I don't know.
I'm so sorry.
But
I had to do it.
Nimrat Kaur,
Had to do
welcome to
it.
Hi
Hi.
everybody, and hi Suchitra. It's so nice to see you.
Thank you.
We know each other from our theatre days for a while now, and
Absolutely.
wonderful to be chatting here.
Fabulous.
Before anything else, congratulations on 10वीं and all the talk that's
Thank you.
happening about it. Really excellent.
Thank you. Have you guys seen it? Have you guys watched
Yes,
it? yet?
yes. I literally
Yes.
actually saw it I finished about a couple of hours before we are having this conversation.
Oh, that's lovely. I'm happy to hear that. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I
I
really did.
For sure.
I really did, and I think the first thing that I want to kind of talk about and right off the bat, and I'm pretty sure Suchi and I've been actually having a chat about this also at the back, is the fact that do you feel as a performer that there is so much of conversation about body shaming and things like that? Should that even come into the narrative, because you're a performer, you're playing a character? So. And a lot of performers have done that, and there has been this entire conversation regarding the character that you play. So I don't know, I was talking to Suchi about it, and I felt that why should it make a difference? I mean, you're playing a character by the end of it. Right?
Well, actually, I haven't come across that at all.
Okay.
I'll be honest. Like I've only been met with a lot of generosity with, the fact that I went the extra mile to do this, and to
Fair
put
enough.
on the 15 kilos that I put on and things like that. Because look, as an actor, like you rightly said, it's my job. There is no big deal in taking on something like that. In fact, that's exactly what makes our jobs fun and interesting, because I don't have to show up as me everywhere, you see.
Yeah.
So I mean that's why I became an actor to begin with, because I didn't want to be me all the time. It was really as simple as that. So in fact it's quite the contrary, because people have never seen me like this, and that's exactly the reason why the makers wanted me to put the weight on, because they wanted nothing from Nimrat to show up in Bimla Devi or Bimo, the entire graph. They wanted none of me to show up.
Sure.
And I think that's a very, very incredible decision on their part. And initially it was very tricky for me, because I was a bit scared. I was a bit daunted by the task, because I have gone through a physical transformation once before for a series called The Test Case. And I did a little bit of that for the Lunchbox as well, but in a severe, definite manner, it was for the Test Case. And it was the other way, where I lost about 10 kilos. I was training like twice a day. And, for 3 odd months, I had just been training to, physically kind of take on the challenges that would come in for a commando. So I think as an actor, it's a great privilege if you're thrown these challenges, and if you're up for it, and if you have the luxury of time to be able to do something like this, because that too happens. Sometimes you want to do something, but you're not in a position to do it.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, I have the luxury to work on one project at one time right now, and I can commit to something, and I could take that on. Not everybody can. Not everybody that wants to can, and maybe I won't be able to in the near future if I'm required to do something crazily drastic.
Yeah.
Who knows? I was able to do it for this project. I'm very fortunate that I could do it. So that's the actor me, you see. As a person, my my observation of how things and people and how the narrative is when you're physically different, that is a different story. So it's not the actor that is ever put under the scanner or anything. In fact, it's the other way around, right? I mean, as an actor, you are, you're given more, I think, more importance than you should be. In fact, if you're physically transforming, it becomes like a big thing, where you're like, oh my God, I'm not taking away from the commitment it takes and all of that. But I think it comes with the territory. I think it's the fun part of, being an actor. But as a person, I did notice that it was interesting to see, because Suchitra as a girl, what happens, and you would have experienced this at some point with people around you or whatever, beautifully, God bless person, you have a, please, like, you've looked the same
true.
now for like,
it's true.
God bless.
It's true. I mean, it's weird. I don't know. Is it Chavanprash? Is it metabolism? I don't know.
In the refrigerator.
There's a cryogenic freezer that she has somewhere tucked away or whatever. Cell regeneration. I don't know.
Indeed.
Yeah. Anyway.
And so, what happened is that as I was putting the weight on, and there was no figure in mind, by the end of it, I was about 15 to 16 kilos up.
Yeah, wow, that's
which is a lot of, and it's all, you're a shape you've never been. Your clothes don't fit you. Sure. You have to create an entirely different wardrobe. You walk different, your blood reports are different, your hormones are different, all kinds of things happen. I was just interested in seeing, I mean, it was just interesting to observe that people around me who didn't know that I was putting the weight on for a part felt like they had the right to comment on what I was looking like.
Right.
If I would be hogging away at a dessert or enjoying like a nice pizza or something, because I had to maintain the weight and I had to keep putting it on. And I had to, eat high calorie food. So I wasn't telling anyone, after a point, I wasn't going to keep telling people.
Mm-hmm.
So it was interesting to see that people thought that they had the right to comment on what I was looking like. And I used to want to eat this, kuch salad kha lo, kya kar rahi ho, dessert, 10 baje. Are you all kinds of things on? When I had lost the weight for come too skinny, thoda, what's happening, like, so I was just like, I was surprised, and I used to think that, I could be going through anything. I could be going through a mental crisis.
Yes.
I could be going through a hormonal problem, a thyroid problem, a health problem, or I could just voluntarily want to put the weight on or lose it. Why is that anyone's business? Why is that for anyone to make it their business?
Make it their business.
Or comment on, that a little insensitive. And I felt like, as a society, we really need to make a note of not having the license to comment on people's bodies.
Sure. Nimrat, I'm interested in asking, when you were putting on the weight, if this is for other actors who also want to go through, a body transformation, etc. It is very important, of course. You were saying, of course, you're eating the desserts and eating the pizza. But did you have somebody actually telling you nutrition?
Yes, and thank God for that. I mean, look, I was also indulging in. I mean, I was having fun with what I needed to do, and I was enjoying myself. But there was a wonderful nutritionist called Jhanvi Kanakia who helped me. She was she works with Maddock, and she's done that previously with actors who've needed to physically transform themselves for their work, and I'm sure she works otherwise as well, with other people and things. And she's wonderful, and she kind of guided me with putting the weight on in the right way,
so that you can
eating
use
right
it
and not
whenever you want to.
Well, yes, and so that I don't mess my body composition up.
Exactly.
Exactly. So that I'm not, so that I'm able to recover from the weight gain.
Yes.
Because my joints were taking a beating. Like, I'm not a very tall girl. So with that kind of mass, my joints were suffering. And my mobility had got affected because my metabolism is kind of fast. So I needed to curb my physical activity so that I can put the weight on easily. And the body takes a while to start listening, like you have to feed it a lot if you have a quicker metabolism, and then it starts to listen.
Yeah.
So I had about 6 months to put the weight on. And luckily, I didn't have like a short period of time and I didn't have to do anything. Like I went about it in a systematic, clean way.
Good. So so there any adverse effects, touch wood.
Yeah, but I did indulge.
You wouldn't know that, Suchitra. So let's just stop talking like some sort of an expert. Oh yes, good, well done. Because you have never gained weight.
That's
so
my problem. If I had to put on weight, I don't bloody put on weight. Yeah,
No,
so then I don't take these roles when I'm
true.
supposed to put on weight.
Yes.
It's true.
Okay, Nimrat, you've done done a plethora of roles. Now, from your theatre days to now, you've done fantastic movies like, The Lunchbox. You've done commercial successes like Airlift. I want to know about your process, Nimrat. You're doing, I know acting is acting. Yeah, but when you're relating to a character, like say what you've done in Dasvi or something in Airlift as opposed to what you did in Lunchbox or even OTT Homeland, how is it that you approach your characters? I'm interested in that process.
I think, Suchitra, because you're an actor, you'll understand this. The process is kind of led by the script and the aesthetic of the filmmaker or the creatives of the show you're doing,
Yeah.
So I think so much is decided and, it's kind of like the world is set, what universe you're entering. And it's not like you act differently for different subjects or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I think the intimacy or the largeness of the canvas is what you kind of understand. Like Lunchbox is a very intimate film. It's probably the most intimate, almost like as if you're sitting there and watching these people in that, it's almost that kind of a feeling.
Yeah.
So it was that world where you had to just kind of just be yourself and, let the camera capture whatever it's capturing and let the director, just capture what he wants to show the audience. And with a part like Dasmi, what happens is that the director was very sure that, he just wanted me to have fun with it. And the lines help and the staging of the scenes help. That's where I would say that having that heavy gait and having that walk and having that strut and it really helped because physically I felt so different in that body that it really made me feel like a different person.
Yeah.
Whether it's a salwar kameez I'm wearing for the part of Bimor, when I transitioned to playing the chief minister, I had a great time. So it's the world of the character. It's the way the character is speaking, what lines you're given. I feel like we just have to absorb. And if you're just truly absorbing the material that's given to you, hopefully the right and the intended outcome will come up.
No, because like you just said, the gait, yes, the putting on of the weight and all of that. So of course, I come from a theatre background as well, in terms of whatever.
Okay.
But there is an entire aspect with which you kind of approach the language of the character, and I thought that to me, while watching the film, that's the first thing that jumped out at me. Yo chori bilkul theek kar raha hai. And in a way, you kind of went into that entire situation. You learned the dialect. You did all of that. What was that process like as far as you were concerned? Because it becomes tough, especially doing an accent is fine. But doing a dialect to the T gets way tougher.
So again, it's something that if you enjoy a process, I feel like you give it so much time and attention, and that's what I did. I gave that entire process of learning the dialect a lot of time and attention and love, because I was like, I don't know when I'll get to do this again. Yeah, and what a pleasure it is to learn from somebody who's the best in the business. And thanks to Dinu, the producer, and Tushar, the director, we had, the finest teacher there is in town, Sunita ji, who hails from Haryana. So I listened to her very keenly. I observed her very keenly. She not only approached the dialect with, how it sounds, but also the emotionality of the scenes.
Exactly. Yeah.
She did tell me, I used to just listen to her. I really just had to listen to her, understand where she was coming from, what the temperature of a scene is, what is it that, how is the pitch of the scene without making it complicated, and enjoying the process. I really enjoyed myself thoroughly. Your tongue works in a different fashion.
Yes.
Your communication becomes different. How you are going to emote a situation becomes different. So I honestly did, forget Nimrat as much as I could in most scenes as much as possible. And I just had a good time, with the ignorance of the person, lack of educational background, or, like her exposure. Like I've been saying this and I'll say it here that, to me, she's like a child with an SUV.
Yeah.
She is just out to have fun. She's
okay, so
it's like,
sorry for cutting you off. No, go ahead.
No. She's just tasted power she's never had. Never had. When I don't even know if she's someone who would have been asked to make a decision in her life, let alone saying it out loud. She's probably not educated. And here suddenly she's like roaming around in a Lal Batti Gadi. She has people. She has Black Cat Commandos. She's got like, whatever.
And the fact that she calls
like
her buffalo Pinky is just perfect.
Oh, you picked it up! Because from Gulabo she becomes Pinky. That was I will say that I wanted that. I was like, can I just call her Pinky? Because now she's Pinky.
I got that,
Speaking of other characters, you said now you had a lot of fun with this. Another character, like your character in Test Case, you must have had a lot of fun, yes, but it was a tough one for you as well to do, right?
Yeah.
Coming from an army background, how did that feel? Was it emotional for you to play that part?
Very actually, and it was wonderful to not feel like going onto a set, because I have seen these uniforms from the time I've taken birth.
Of course.
I was born in an army household, so the army's uniform is what I recognize as reality. In fact, when I was introduced to a civilian environment, I thought these people were lesser people, because I said, my God, they don't wear uniforms. I said, who are these people? They don't wear, because we used to see my father in civilian clothes only when there were functions or, personal time, but otherwise, the uniform is reality. So it was a great pleasure. And actually, that's the only costume I ever retained. So I've never ever kept that is still with me.
Nice.
So it was very, very personally very special to me to play that part and to just be in an environment which was like second skin to me. So
what else would Nimrat Kaur have been doing if not an actor?
Well, maybe a travel journalist or something. That's the only other possibility. Although I don't know if I would have been that disciplined, because it takes a lot of discipline, right? You're traveling on like the channel's time, and you have to show up at a certain time, and you have to travel in a certain way.
Yeah.
Because I love to travel, but maybe that's something I may have done.
But the journey has been quite interesting for you, Nimrat. I mean, in terms of the fact that you start off as a print model, and then of course you take the world of advertising by storm. You do some fabulous films, which are a triumph by themselves, and then you decide to go ahead and start to was that kind of a strategic call that you took, that you wanted to kind of maybe dabble internationally, or is it just something that happened?
They wanted her. I know this. They wanted her, and they went hammer and tongs organizing.
Yeah, because Homeland was.
It's the truth.
Homeland was wonderful.
Fantastic.
Homeland was wonderful.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Really. No, I did make the decision to come to Bombay, and I have worked. I have just made sure that I didn't give up. That's the one thing I would give myself credit for, if at all. That I didn't give up, and I did not turn around and say, okay, you know what? I don't know what's happening. I don't know what the bigger picture is, so I'm just leaving. Because there were those times as well, as there can be in everyone's career. So there were gaps. You didn't know what you were going to do next. You didn't know where life was heading. So life really changed for me, Lunchbox onwards, where there was a definite career in sight. There was a definite path, where you knew that you didn't have to worry about where your next job was going to come from. Because what Lunchbox did was that it opened up
That's true. Yeah.
Homeland happened because of Lunchbox. And honestly, I have just made sure that I take up projects only that I love. I have never been able to take up anything that that I half love. So that is the one thing which I'm not capable of doing. I've tried, but I'm not capable. So everything else is providence. Whatever has come to me and whatever I've wanted to pick up and has worked out is in front of everyone to see. Now it's half my work is abroad, half is here. It's just been a balance that I couldn't possibly have manufactured. These are not things you can create.
Fair
This
enough.
is just something that, it genuinely just happened by virtue of what the Lunchbox did. It opened up a world which I could never have imagined,
Nice.
And then it was one project here, one there, one here, one there. Now I'm going into foundation. I'll be finishing. Yeah. So I've already done one schedule there early this year, and now I'll be finishing that in the next week. I travel in a week.
No,
so it's really, and then I come back here.
After you were seen in Homeland, I would have to say that was one of the kind of turning points where people started taking notice of us Indian actors. It's not just token Asian face in international work, and ever since then, a constant array of actors and which is great. Kudos to you for setting the path for all of us. No doubt, really.
I've been fortunate. Thank you very much. But opportunity.
But I would still like to play, just for the record, I still like to play a taxi driver. I'm just putting it out there. Anyway, having said that, yes, you were saying.
No, I mean, really, I feel very, very fortunate. And I think life has also helped me make those decisions. I could take them at the time. And, there is a lot that has to happen, right, for us to take decisions as actors, know. So I've been blessed. I've been quite lucky.
What is it that Nimrat Kaur does to kind of relax and just zone out? What do you do? Do you have a hobby, or is there something you do, whether it's working out, meditation, etc.? What is it?
I am a bit hectic as a person, So I like to keep myself physically busy. I'm out and about. If I can go for hikes, I love doing that. I haven't been for one for a while. I love being around people, that I love and, that keep things light and easy and happy, hang out with friends. Yes. My cats keep me entertained. They're really I love organizing my house. I'm a bit of an organization freak. So I keep doing all that. Yeah, just usual regular things. Hang out, chit chat. I'm not someone who watches things. I'm not a watcher at all.
Okay.
I've just about watched everything that I've done. So that's the one department I'm pathetic at.
I wanna. Sorry.
The acting department everyone knows about. What is the other departments that people don't know about? Is it cooking? Is it singing, dancing?
Cooking.
Come on, tell us something.
Yeah, actually, all. Yes. You're not gonna make me dance, right? None of that. You're not gonna be like. Sure.
Cook, please, cook.
No, I'm a decent cook. I can cook. Yeah, I can cook. I love cooking Indian food a lot.
Yeah,
I eat my mother's head. I call her and I'm just on the phone with her for hours and trying to figure out what's what. And I love cooking, especially if I'm entertaining. I love it.
Don't worry.
So we will,
Suchi and I will entertain you. You cook when you're back in Bombay. I have a lot of stories to tell you. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Okay.
But I wanna draw your attention again to something which I thought you said was very beautiful, Nimrat. And I think if you could elaborate that a little bit, I think it'll be very encouraging for a lot of people, not just people who are in the media or the actors or whatever, right? When you said something which is just 3 words, don't give up. It's fair. But what is the process? Because you got to go through it every day. So is it routine for you? Is it, you keep doing the same thing, plugging away? Elaborate on that a little bit, because don't give up is nice. Yeah. But there are times when you hit the wall.
Of course, absolutely, you do. I think it comes down to being inherently optimistic. I'm not saying that I am always positive.
Yeah.
But I am an optimistic person. I may have my share of days when I don't feel that sprightly or upbeat and, everything's going to work out and, yes, affirmations and all, nothing works. There are days when you just wake up and you're like, I don't know why I'm awake.
Yeah.
You go back to bed.
Yeah.
Of course, that happens, but I am now. This is something that I have to thank. I think my guardian angels or my parents or all of the above, my
Sure.
friends, everything. I think the energy I have around me has always been one of never
Positive.
giving up,
Yeah, never.
and no
Beautiful.
lack of, yeah, it just is that wait for some time to pass. Don't make decisions when you're low.
Yeah.
Correct.
That is something
Yeah.
that I've learned, that decisions made out of weakness, and when you're at your low self, are mostly off. Get a
Right.
distance from the situation. Let some time pass. Even after a week, let's say, give it a week. If you feel the same way, then there's some need to address the situation.
Yes.
But often, when we are very close to something that's happened, and it's broken you, it affects you. It could be anything at work,
Sure.
at home, anything that isn't going as per your desire. I think you should just let it pass. Let it pass. Busy yourself. Make your physical energy change. Work out, hang out with friends, go for a movie, show up somewhere.
Nice.
Just show up. Don't stop showing up.
Yeah.
Show up. That's it.
Nice.
Half the time, that's the job. Show up.
Fair enough. Makes sense. Makes sense.
As you said, going for a movie, speaking about movies again, now you did Airlift with Akshay Kumar. Now, any film with Akshay Kumar, it's like, wow, everyone, you know that it's going to be watched. That was a brilliant film, and it was, it was a beautiful film. I watched it and I loved it. I love the music as well in it. I mean, your chemistry was beautiful in that. But what I'm getting to is, with a big star like Akshay Kumar, were you ready for the adulation that came your way soon after that movie? I mean, people had seen you, of course, in Lunchbox, etc., but
not as
from the
many
commercial
people as
aspect-
saw. Yeah, I mean, I've realized that the Lunchbox is an audience and Airlift is an audience.
Yes.
Because look, I mean, just by sheer mathematics of the number of theaters it released on,
Yes.
True.
It's just the kind of reach of Akshay Kumar, who's a nationwide superstar, and he's someone whose career spans maybe 2.5 decades now. I don't even know, right? Like I recall watching his work for as long as 20 years ago now, right? So if not longer. So the kind of recognition and the kind of recall value that an Airlift has, honestly, nothing else has in the masses. And the BC tier towns, if one can categorize those cities as that. Where I go into the heartland, or whenever I travel, to places where what Lunchbox and what Homeland and
correct.
what those are the places where you're known as the Airlift girl. And they'll even know me from my ad film work.
True.
Cadbury ka ad kiya tha aapne.
Correct.
There were these music videos I did called Tera Mera Pyar, which was my first outing on camera, actually.
Right.
So they know me from that. It's very simple. So it's very interesting to see that there'll never be one room where you're known for everything.
Right.
Everyone doesn't care about everything.
Yeah.
So it's very important to keep your bag a full mix of things.
Yeah.
Which is also, fabulous advice. And also, it's very important and pertinent for me to ask you this. आपके 10वीं में कितने आए थे?
Not bad. I think I got about 87 or 89%. I want to say 80 because it's a figure.
Suchitra, over to you now.
91.
Over to you, Suchitra.
I knew it, yeah. She's a South Indian.
I was not. Yeah, man. She's one of those. She's one of those. Remember, she's one of those जो सारा कुछ पढ़ के आती है, and she says, "Oh,
last minute.
कुछ नहीं आता."
But
And then by the
as
end,
you said, that physics, maths, you know what to do. Yeah, that's why
for the record, I got 86.
Not bad. Not bad. What board?
CBSE.
SSC.
Suchitra, what board?
SSC.
Okay.
You?
So yeah, CBSE.
CBSE. So then that counts for more now. Then SSC.
Yeah.
तो इसका क्या मतलब what Nimrat और मैं क्या मतलब
मेरे लिए मत बोलिए, मैं नहीं हूँ गध.
Your vote counts for more. Yeah. So what next, Nimrat? We know we are doing foundation. What is that one thing that that you want to do, which you're hoping in the back of your mind, I get to do this? Is it a musical? Is it getting back to stage? Is it Broadway? Something like that. What dream is there in your head which you hope to realize?
There's no one particular thing, but I would love to work a little bit more in India right now because I feel like I've missed it a lot.
Yes.
So I would love, I'm doing a web series in here in India when I come back after Foundation. I'm rolling into one pretty much all of May. I'll be filming that. I'm really looking forward to that. So I'm really excited about working here and just exploring different genres and, different kinds of subjects and stories. And this is Kit Kat. And,
that's Kit Kat. Nice. Hey.
Hi, Kit Kat. In some world, she's saying hi.
Yeah.
So, I would really love to explore, I really want to do different kinds of work. I would love to be given more opportunities like Dasmi, and for people with a bigger risk appetite. With Dasmi, one other thing that was really lovely was to have that kind of freedom to create comedy.
Yes.
Not very often do female actors get opportunities to be the driving engine of comedy.
Yeah.
One has seen women being the subject of humor, the object of humor in a scene where they're being laughed at, mocked. So it was very lovely, very empowering almost to to create humor, to create comedy.
Right. Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that a lot. It was a great pleasure and of course a challenge because comedy is very, very difficult to, it can go either this way or that way. It's so much about, you don't know what it's landing like.
Yeah.
So it was very empowering to also be given that opportunity. And I hope that I can explore more and more fun stuff like that.
But you did, trust me, your timing was immaculate. I really felt so. I thought it was really good in terms of comedy.
Thanks to the writing, thanks to the director.
Yeah.
I've been very lucky. My co-actors. It takes all of this for a scene to work.
For everything to come together. And like you just told Suchitra, that you want to kind of be back in India and do a lot more stuff here, and it's a lot more exciting and all of that. Also, the fact that you get to be on shows like this one, my God, you're lucky.
Imagine how the universe works.
Think about it,
No, but Nimrat, thank you so much for being on Here It Here and coming back to our homeland. We're so, so proud of you and so proud to have you.
Thank you so much, Suchitra. It's lovely. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
thank you very, very much.
Lots of positive energy to you.
Yeah. Thank you very, very much. Suchitra, you have to watch the film. I don't think you've seen it. Please watch the film.
I'm going to 120%. I've just come to Bangalore. That's why I'm on Zoom as well.
Just
Otherwise, normally
let me know what you think. I really want to know, huh? I'm not just saying this for the...
I have your number now. I'll message you.
Yes, please do.
Okay.
Buy some Kit Kat and me.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Here It Here with Sudhi and Suchi.
रालिया की बात करते हैं
ये कौन है?
या फिर अलबीर की बातें करते हैं?
अलबीर तो शॉर्ट पुट करता है.
वही अलबीर? No. रालिया is who? Ranbir and Alia.
अच्छा, you've christened them. Well done.
Yes.
These are the moments that we wait for.
Completely, right? So Ralia now, what has happened? Apparently, Alia is very excited about going back to South Africa for their honeymoon.
Nice.
Why honeymoon? And why South Africa? No, why honeymoon? Because they're getting married. But why South Africa? Because apparently when they were shooting Brahmastra, okay, this poor girl must have been shooting, she must have been shooting Gangubai also at the same time or whatever. And she was really, really tired and had to take a break. So she went to South Africa, okay, just to take a little bit of a break.
I go for a break to Matunga, but anyway.
You can go there, huh? Nobody's coming with you.
Sure.
But the fact is over here, so she went for a break there. Ranbir went and joined her over there and that's where he confessed his love to her.
Nice.
In South Africa, amongst the animals and amongst the safaris, etc. That's when he confessed his love to her. So it's obviously very close to her heart.
Was he petrified? That's why he expressed. Anyway.
Yeah. So Alia wants to go back to South Africa for their honeymoon. Yeah, and go on safari with wild animals. Will they be the wild animals or will the safari animals be the wild animals? That we don't know, and you know.
Is that a euphemism?
I have no idea what it is, but I'm sure they're going to have a lot of fun.
But the dates have still not been finalized for the wildlife safari, by the way.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean,
the animals are not available.
Why should they tell the world? Is my logic. You know, let them go and have a good time.
I agree with you.
But speaking of having a good time, and speaking of, you know, jab
did you say
loha
for a reason?
No. You know, jab loha garam hai, hathoda maro or something there like that.
Bilkul sahi keh rahe tu.
Correct, no. So the same thing, I'm talking about Ralia as well, because Brahmastra. Remember that?
Bhari Bharkam.
Bhari Bharkam. Brahmastra.
Sharad Kelkar agar ye bolega.
I was just thinking that. Brahmastra. So Brahmastra, the film, up to now we've only seen individual kind of shots of, either Ranveer or Alia or whatever from the film. But I think they've decided to capitalize a little bit on the fact that they're getting married and then going, of course, to South Africa or whatever else for their honeymoon.
Right.
And now the poster has been put out of the two of them together.
And I'm sure pretty much the entire poster and the entire thing would have just gone viral, right, Suchi?
Yeah, completely.
Everyone is excited about it.
Totally. So am I. I'm like really happy for these two. Yeah, they're so sweet.
So Suchi, I think it's time now that I'm saying goodbye.
So long, farewell, a vida and goodbye. I hate to go and leave this pretty side.
I always start swinging like Stevie Wonder.
Goodbye, so long, farewell. It is time to say goodbye because this is where we have to say goodbye to you on Hear It Here with this person Sudhi and this person Suchi. But we will be back very soon with more information about Bollywood, everything that you needed to know about what's going to happen, what has happened, what is happening at the moment. See you then.
Hear It Here with Sudhi and Suchi.